How do you manage to read so much? Well, a lot of that's good fortune. Like I seem to have a knack for reading. It's not, it was a gift. Like when I was a kid, if I look at a word once, I can always spell it. Like I have it instantly. And I've been like that ever since I was little. And so I seem to have a facility for very rapid verbal comprehension. And then my father taught me to read when I was very young. And I think it was the combination of those two things that enabled that for me. I had a natural proclivity, a verbal ability. My graduate supervisor, very smart guy, Robert Peel, guy I really liked, he had trouble with spelling. I don't know why exactly that is. People have different talents, and I had a talent for immediate recognition and memory of words, and I'm also very verbally fluent. Give me a sec here. So I think mostly it's an innate talent. Now I also do know that the more you read, generally speaking, the faster you get. My wife is really, like, she always read, but she's really started to read a lot since she got a Kindle. Turns out she really likes her Kindle. She reads a lot more, and her reading speed has increased a lot. A lot of it's practice. You can try to speed up your reading by reading a little faster than you're comfortable with. I don't know the research literature indicating the utility of that, but practice is always useful. The other thing is that you want to make it part of a habit, both conceptually and practically. A lot of people don't read because they're afraid of books. The books aren't their friend. So you might want to get a few books and kind of make them your friend. You can start with simpler books, like fiction. There's lots of good fiction written for adolescents and children. It's pretty straightforward. You can start there. If you're interested in philosophy, there's lots of simple guides like The Idiot's Guide to different topics, or a beginner's guide. I read those things all the time when I'm first investigating a new topic. I start with the introductory material. And I make time for reading, and that was encouraged in my family. Like I always read before I went to sleep. I read, and I still do that. Somewhat less so because I've become so distracted by social media. But you set aside a bit of time every day to read. And for me, it was always just before I went to bed. I go to bed, turn on the light, and read when I was a kid, for hours. And if you do something every day, you do a lot of it. And so I would say, well, if you want to read, if you want to make yourself educated, just put aside 20 minutes a day to read, or 10, some small amount of time that you could actually steal, not 2 hours, because good luck, man. It's very unlikely you'll manage that. But 20 minutes a day, that's 2 hours a week. That's 700 hours a year. That's, even if you're a slow reader, that's a good number of books. And so you make it a habitual part of your life, and you decide that it's going to be something that you value. You investigate carefully what resistances you might have to that idea, because you might think, well, that's pseudo-intellectual, or there's something more productive I could be doing, or I'm intimidated by books, or I hate books because I wasn't good at reading when I was a kid and was humiliated because of it, or you've got something against intellectuals, or God, there might all sorts of resistances to picking up a book. And then you could listen to audiobooks. That's a good way around that, by hook or by crook, man. So you value it, you make it a regular part of your life, you practice doing it. And you need a higher goal too. Is like, well, why should you read? Well, it's so that you're more informed and you can think better. Well, why should you be more informed and think better? Because you won't walk blindly into so many pits. You'll be able to negotiate better in your life because you'll be more informed and more verbally fluent, and you'll have a better sense of how the world works, and be able to hold your own in conversations, and that'll make you more confident. Those are all unbelievably good reasons. To be highly literate is an incredibly massive advantage. practical advantage, and it shouldn't be underestimated.